Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we have a reading for you about something. It could be a job offer, it could be a relationship offer, love offer, right? But I feel like you know something major is about to change, and you have this. I don't know, maybe you're doubting yourself just a little bit, but there is something here that is pushing you to take a little bit of a time out, maybe to, be a bit lazy for a day or even take some vacation time from work. And this is because once this contract comes through, once you change jobs or once you decide to move in with your partner, whatever it is, there is going to be a faster pace that happens. So it's like, take a moment now before things get a little bit extra busy. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of Wind Chime Time. I hope you're having a good day. I missed you all yesterday, but thank you for allowing me the day off. If you're interested in a personal reading, my email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you, as is additional information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. Hello, Rachel. Hello, Bumpface. Hello, Famous Seamus. What's going on? I missed you guys. Let's dive in with the Pulp Tarot. Let's see what we have about this offer. You guys want to make a guess where I went? I bet you can figure it out. Hello, Phoenix Rose. How are you doing? All right, so we've got the Fool in the reverse, the Ten of Swords, and the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is in the reverse. So to be honest, it feels to me like you are being removed from a situation where it would be a bit chaotic, or somebody else might be having some serious karmic consequences. So someone could be getting fired, someone could have mismanaged the company funds or ruined a big, your main customer, the account has been kind of put in question because there's a price that you can't fix. They can't agree on a new contract. There's something here in the current environment that's like, nope, that's not what we want for the collective. So you're being highlighted as someone that needs to get moved to a better spot, right? Hello, dragons. How are you doing? Oh, no worries. You're good. I appreciate you. Hello, Steven. What's going on? Was it the Dr. Pepper factory? Which I believe, if you're talking about the original one, it's in Texas. And that could be a thing that I do eventually, but good guess. I'm literally wearing the t-shirt though. Hello, April. How are you doing? Hello, Caitlin. Hello, MJ. Hello, Star. Yeah, Rachel, sometimes it gets a little bit in your face with that message, but I do feel like there's someone who has made a mistake or a series of mistakes, and you're able to walk away from that situation, whether it's a relationship, a living situation, or a job, and say, you know what? I think it's time for me to just hop in the Batmobile. I'm pretty sure that's a Batmobile, right? I might be wrong. It's time for me to get a move on. I have blessed this place with enough of my time. Hello, Talib. Hello, Dana. How's it going? Hello, Elian. How are you doing? Thank you. So we've got the Six of Wands and the Tower. Your success in terms of yourself is, it's like there's an opportunity for you to show others what you're capable of, but it requires you to step away from something that has gotten to be a bit comfortable, but you also know you've outgrown it. I've just been taught to say thank you, and not to be like a jerk about it. I would rather hear that my messages have helped people. That's more important. But this is the Noisy Tarot. Let's see what else we've got for you. Pretty close, though. Hello, Ashley. How are you? Hello, Key Controller. So we've got the Magician, the Knight of Swords, and the Hierophant in the reverse. Again, this could be about a boss or a relationship. It could even be about like a lease on an apartment. But this is saying, we're over that. Something that has been chosen or something that has been directed by this individual in your life. It's setting up events to cause problems that are not your problems. So for some of you, this is specifically after the living situation. If you know that your landlord has done very little to deal with problems that pop up that impact your health, for example, or like there was one place I lived where I had to get after them because my mailbox wasn't working. Like I am federally allowed, like that's their responsibility. If they don't do that, if they don't honor that, then I think you can even like create like a rent account or something where you pay into it, but they don't get the money until they fix the problem. Depends on your state, right? But this is saying like, yo, if you're not going to do the things that you need to in order to play your role, then I'm not going to play my role. If you're not going to be a good partner, if you're not going to take care of the property that you are supposed to take care of, if you are not going to be a good boss or satisfy the requirements of your job, then I'm not going to do it either. It's kind of like a Nick Sportson vibe there. Illegally watching, you're funny. Haley, how's it going? Aw, I hope it's nice weather. Oh, thank you, Caitlin. That means so much. I appreciate that. We've got somebody here who's thinking about the options. Okay, so maybe this isn't where I'm supposed to be. Maybe this isn't where I should live. Maybe this isn't the relationship for me. Maybe this job can take it and just... But you can see that there's somewhere else where you would be happy, right? Eight of Pentacles. I have somebody looking at jobs. Somebody looking at possibilities, going through a checklist, right? I've got to find this. I've got to do that. I've got to move this. I got to pack up my stuff. I've got to figure out, you know, is there school things that I need to look into? Is there all those little things, right? But you are more than capable of addressing whatever that checklist is. And I do feel like it enables you to get into a better place where you have some opportunity to be doing this when ish hits the fan wherever you were before. Because it's going to hit the fan for someone. That Ten of Swords means it's like a pretty big problem for someone. Oh, did I miss one? Hold on, you guys. I have a good one. Where did I write this? Oh, I think it did show you backwards. But I thought this was pretty funny. In the RSV version, it says, I will accept no bull from your house. Now, this is Psalm 50, verse 9. It's only the RSV version because I think it's supposed to be bull calf, right? And while I would not accept a bull calf from your house, I will also not accept an ABS from your house. So if y'all ever need to use that, go for it. Hello, the light. How are you doing? Ben, I'm not going to pull a card for that, but I'm going to tell you that when you ask whether or not you will have someone for the rest of your life, I would argue you're asking the wrong question. You're asking if someone's going to stand by you no matter what your treatment is. The more effective question would be, what do I need to do to avoid losing this person? Or is there something that I am capable of doing to handle it if I lose this person? If you frame your questions in a way where you're looking for what your responsibilities are or what stands in between you and what you want, then you have a greater clarity of what's going on, as well as admitting like how much control you have over the situation. But when you ask if someone's just gonna like stick by your side, it's indicating that you're not necessarily looking into what I need to do to improve upon the situation, right? Hey, Minnie, I'm super proud. Like, that's great for you. But I'm going to ask you to be respectful in the live chat, okay? Hey, Kevin, that shouldn't be true of all women. We've got Page of Cups in the reverse, the Chariot in the reverse, and the Page of Wands in the reverse. Who is this person? Because they are incredibly immature. And they don't want to look at all of the signs around them that their choices or their behavior has actually caused a bunch of problems, right? Yeah, I would agree with that. So we've got someone here who's not going to do right by their end of the deal, whether that's your employer, your landlord, or your lover. I liked how that sounded. So many L's in there. You deserve better, you know it, and you have the ability to change it. So you do some research, you figure it out, and you're like, wow, I thought I was stuck all this time. I didn't really look into whether or not I needed to make any changes, but now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I could actually remove myself from the situation, right? Hey, Kevin, I respect you have an opinion, but when you're talking about how everyone feels about something, especially when you're not a woman, I'm going to start removing your comments. I want you to love yourself for who you are, but right now you're judging the women's view of you, okay? So chill, please. Hello, Eva. How are you doing? So we've got the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, Six of Pentacles in the reverse, and Six of Wands in the reverse. You are being cautioned about taking too much time to resolve this problem because it is like quicksand and it is swallowing up whoever this person is that made a pretty big mistake. For some of you, if this is a person that you are financially, like your horse is tied up to that, right? Your finances will be impacted. If you are dependent upon this employer paying you in order to make rent or mortgage, they will impact your finances. This is like, get out. You don't need to deal with their problems too. It's theirs, not yours. So you can already kind of like smell that something's going on. You can smell what the rock is cooking. You know that there's trouble. So trust yourself. And you can figure out a different path, right? Hello, Soren. How are you doing? Hello, Ira. You ain't lying, Caitlin. Hey, Braxton. Congratulations on the religious beliefs. You're welcome to have those beliefs and comments. Just please do not judge anybody in the live chat. We've got Boogeyman. As life unfolds and shadow overpowers light, will my innocence be left untouched? If somebody else's troubles bring in some karmic justice, you do not need to be around for it, right? Hey, hot take. If Kevin's that convinced that that's the problem, then maybe it's just somebody who's pretending to have dark skin. Just saying, I've seen that before, and I don't like it. So let's just love ourselves, right? Have a good day, Star. Hello, Prina. How are you? We've got people pleasing. I wonder how much of myself I've lost in others. The pieces that remain, no one can notice. So this one always like kind of cuts deep because I definitely had the tendency to be more of a people pleaser when I was younger. I was also probably a little bit more likely to like yell at people, right? But that's part of the problem with being a people pleaser. You set aside the things that are important for yourself in favor of what other people are asking, right? Hey, we're not doing politics in here, hun. You want to try again? Cool. Otherwise, I will block you. We've got somebody here who has tried to do everything for someone who is not making the right choices for themselves. And when this boogeyman, when this landlord, boss, or lover, whoever it is, starts reaping what they sow, you are not supposed to be on the same farm. You are not supposed to be the one who picks up the pieces. They need to deal with that on their own, right? I'm proud of you, Caitlin. A little bit at a time, right? Now, we still have a responsibility to do right by our affection for others and our respect for others. So I'm not saying don't ever do something nice for people again. There are some beautiful opportunities that we get to sacrifice what we need in order to make someone else's day. And you have discernment for that reason. But when someone is constantly expecting you to sacrifice what you need in order for them to get what they want, notice I said what you need and what they want, then you got to ask yourself why they're okay with that, right? If a boss is okay with making it difficult for you to afford your mortgage because they were being irresponsible financially, then do they really respect you? If a romantic partner of yours is willing to risk your reputation, or maybe there's, law enforcement issues or financial issues because they can't take care of their own things, then are they really showing you that they love you, right? Hello, Renee. How are you doing? Hello, Illuminati. Hello, Nil. I'm always worried it's Nilly, but it's Nil, right? We've got Jin. As magic unfolds, a risk as high will arise. Wishes will be granted, but beware the design. So this feels to me like whoever you're dealing with, they made a deal they should not have made. It's either they made a deal with, you could say they made a deal with the devil. You could say they made a deal they knew they wouldn't be able to satisfy their end of the bargain on, right? I'll pay you $500 if you drive me to the airport, but then you get to the airport and they don't have any cash. They don't have any money for you, right? Yes, I would agree with that energy. So, love others, be kind to others, but you also have a responsibility to yourself. Hello, James. How are you doing? Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate you. Hello, Shay Shay. This is the Tattoo Tarot. We have the Seven of Swords in the reverse, the Emperor in the reverse, and the Nine of Cups. There comes a point where you have to be willing to look at your understanding of life and acknowledge that it is comprised of not just your logic, not just your memory, but also your intuition. There are times, and I know you know it, where you knew something was going to happen, or you knew you couldn't trust someone, or you knew something needed to change, and you didn't trust it, and then exactly what you thought would happen happened. I feel like I'm reading for someone who has gotten to the point where you think, no, I need to trust that intuition because it's been pretty spot on. It has helped me understand what I need to do to get to where I want to be without dealing with the problems of emperors in the reverse. Because there are emperors in the reverse everywhere. People who think they have control over the situation, but they don't. And they frequently rely on others to achieve what they need to in an unreasonable way, right? Thank you, Nell. I appreciate that. I'm going to write down your question. If we get to $15 in tips, I will take personal questions at the end with priority to those who have donated. Yes, Sovik, I remember that name. I hope I said it right. What are Geet's feelings? Gotcha. Hey, Grindhard, how you doing? Hey, Urban. I bet you know exactly why I have that, right? You're right, Rachel. So that cross is made from the pews of my grandparents' church. It was in the middle of some farmland and unfortunately was not able to sustain a congregation. So they did some pretty awesome things in terms of making sure the like furnishings were put to good use. So I love that cross. Thank you. Oop. Hello, Cindy. How's it going? So we have the Knight of Cups, Three of Swords, Ace of Cups. So do not take a false offer when a real one exists. Do you see how with the Knight of Cups, there's this blank space right in front of his face? It's hard not to think of Taylor Swift when I say blank space, but that's what it is, right? It's in the shape of a chalice or a cup. And this is saying there's an offer here that is not a real offer. It's a promise that is empty. And it is opposing, or it is the other option to this Ace of Cups, which is a real offer. So why would you deny the real offer for something fake? People pleasing. Feeling like you have to satisfy an obligation to somebody who had no designs whatsoever on doing right by you. Now, why would you bend over backwards and potentially like lose money for someone who doesn't even seem to care that it would inconvenience you? Just curious, because you deserve better. You deserve somebody who wants to see you do well as they do well, right? Maybe they're more invested in their own success, whatever. I'm not going to be mad at them about that. But if they are okay with their success happening at the cost of yours, that's where I start to have a little bit of a problem with it, right? Thank you, Prina. I appreciate that. Hello, Angel. How's it going? Thank you for the likes and subscribes, everyone. There's over 100 of you, and we've got 40 likes. Come on. I know you like me more than that. We've got Lovers in the reverse and the Four of Cups in the reverse. Do not make a choice for somebody else's convenience or to benefit someone else in this situation. This is one of those times where they're saying, you choose you. You need to prioritize what makes sense for you, not what someone else is telling you you have to do, right? Oh, that's so cool. I appreciate that, Zenergy. Yeah, there's a reason I love it. And it's sitting on a bookshelf that my other grandfather built. So I like to surround myself with the cool stuff in my house, right? The cool stuff from family, travels, that kind of thing. So this is the Tarot of the Nile. We have the Empress, somebody who is able to build a new start, build an empire. There's something here about people trying to keep you at a lower level because you are intimidating to others. Now, this could be your romantic partner who doesn't want you to feel like they aren't good enough for you, or that they aren't good enough for you. Is that how I said that? So they want to keep you at a certain place, right? I don't have to grow if you think I'm good enough the way I am. But if you're growing and you're getting better and you're improving upon yourself, then that makes me feel like maybe you're not going to like me as much. There are a variety of reasons where people will think it is okay to try to limit how far you can go in your life to make themselves feel better, right? But that's not what somebody who loves and respects you would do. If it's a landlord or an employer, then we're talking about regulations, laws, and things that they have to do. I don't care if they like it. I don't care if they love you. It would probably be creepy if they loved you, but it's about that respect in all three of those situations, right? Exactly. Hey, Laura, how's it going? Hey, Angel Watcher, I will take personal questions at the end if we get to $15 in donations. All right, Kevin, we tried. We really did. I'm giving you a 24-hour break. And if you won't come back to the collective, we will be kind. We will lift you back up because I don't like that you are being self-effacing, self-degrading. So I'm sending you a hug. But if there is some other motive for you to do that, then I ask you to address that, okay? See, guys, I'm psychic. I did it before you asked me to. Sending you healing energy, okay, Kevin? So we do have this situation where someone is lying to keep you around because they don't want to be honest about the fact that you have done better or that you could do better. Because that means they have to do better and they don't necessarily want to do more for you or do right by you. And why would you sit in that situation, right? 8 of Pentacles, 8 of Wands, 7 of Cups in the reverse. So we have 7, 8, 8, 7. So if you were to mirror the behavior of this person back to them, they wouldn't be able to handle it, right? If you were disrespectful or disingenuous, if you didn't get your crap done at work, what would they do? They would lose their mind. That's because they have a different set of rules for themselves than they do for you, whatever this arrangement is. So that means you're starting to see that this is not someone who really intends to do right by you. And therefore, I think you feel a little bit more comfortable making a choice that is right for you instead of that people-pleasing tendency. And I'm proud of you. You're realizing this person wants to keep you where you are. I don't want you to get better. I don't want you to make more money. I don't want you to have a better situation. They're trying to keep you stuck. I don't like people like that because that just means they're afraid to do their own work. Whether it's fixing the faucet, paying you your worth, or being a good partner, they don't want to do the work. I did. Thank you, Renee. Yeah, you're right about that. Hold on. I was talking about Jenner's energy, just to clarify that. We've got searching, online, looking for info, records. So this could be looking for that new job, looking for a new place to stay. Another angel reference. So you do have protective energy around you. I feel like you are being pushed to a different spot, right? Go somewhere else. Away from the person who seems to insist that you be a people pleaser. This is someone who is keeping you away from some sort of wish fulfillment or a leveling up that is meant to be yours, right? Hello, Jaginder. I don't know what you're dealing with, but I'm sending you healing and protective energy. Hello, Lonnie. How are you doing? And interesting, we've got this single card. Time for you to let go of this expectation, this lease, this employment contract, this relationship, and go do something for yourself. Because you've learned the lesson that you need to. And someone else is now supposed to learn a lesson about the situation from you. Namely, that they can't treat people the way that they've been treating you. All right, I actually feel like my stomach is going to growl. So I'm going to quick do Nil's question because even though we didn't hit the tip thing, just because I want to make sure I offer a little bit of assistance. And then I am going to go eat some food, and then I'll be back later. There we go. Hello, Renee. Did I say hello? I can't remember. I think it's a different Renee. Hello, Vaishali. How are you doing? So Noah wanted to know what Geet's feelings are for Suvik, which I believe you said is your name. So we have the Seven of Cups, the World, the Three of Swords, and the reverse. And the Five of Swords. So there is some concern here about how others interact with or judge or view your connection or friendship, whatever this is. There are people who look at the two of you and they're like, that doesn't make sense. And so I do feel like there is something here pressuring, or someone pressuring them to not come towards you or connect to you or reach out to you, feeling like things are over, but that wind is stealing her hat. So it's like, I feel like things were ended not by my own choosing. We have the Three of Swords in the reverse. There's an attempt to kind of heal from some sadness here. But that Five of Swords, those are those other individuals who seem to try to keep the two of you apart. But there is some plan or something that Geet is doing to try to combat this. So I do feel like at some point you would be reconnecting. So, all right. I love you all. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes, and I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.